Today we're going to talk about the Incredible Hulk. And Hulk was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and a little bit of influence, I'm going to have to say, by Steve Ditko, because the early issues were both drawn by Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. A matter of fact, I have a book here that reprints the first 6 issues of the Incredible Hulk. And if you notice, Hulk was gray in the very first issue. He was actually gray, and they changed him to become green. There's nothing wrong with reprints if you can't afford the originals. For instance, I have a price guide right here. The Overstreet Price Guide. You see that? This is the Bible of comic books. But remember, it's only a guide, kids. It doesn't mean you have to abide by every price in here. A comic book's value is what a person is willing to pay for it. That's how I look at it. I'm kind of old school like that. And speaking of old school, I have to put on the old codger glasses to read some of these prices. The very first issue of The Incredible Hulk came out in May 1962. A near mint, not even pristine mint condition, Hulk #1 goes for $75,000. Yeah. You can buy that reprint book, the Marvel Masterworks, which reprints the Incredible Hulk 1 to 6, numbers 1 to 6, from anywhere from $20 to $100 on eBay, you know. So sometimes it's best to collect comics in the reprints if you can't afford the originals and you want to read them all. Another great way to do it is to get the comic books on DVD-ROM. This is my DVD-ROM of like 40 years of the Incredible Hulk. It's the complete collection. Hulk started out in Hulk 1 to 6. Then he went into the Tales to Astonish, and it went up to number 101, and then Hulk started out in number 102. So Hulk's comic really started out in Hulk 102, and as you can see, right by this cover, there's Bruce Banner changing into the Incredible Hulk. He got hit by the gamma bomb, the gamma radiation, ended up making him a freak of nature. And on the back, they show some of the Tales to Astonish covers. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This complete collection, you could probably get it on eBay for about $100. And you can read them on the computer. It's not as fun as holding an original comic book in your hand. But you can still get the stories, the artwork, and have a great time reading them like that. If you can't afford the originals. Here's another original I have. This is Hulk Special number 3. It came out in, I think, 1971. And Hulk versus the Leader and his minions in this. Can you see that? And this is when the comics were 25 cents for a king-size issue. For a regular issue, they were 12 and 15 cents. But this one's great. This one's a Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and I want to show you something if I can find it in this one. And there was an ad in it, an advertisement, with none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. It says, famous Arnold Schwarzenegger will help you build your muscles. You know, your abs, your muscles. You'll have a 6-pack or 12-pack right on your stomach, kids. Look, he's holding a beautiful woman in his arms. That's before, way before Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor of California. I'll be back. Put 2 full inches on my arms, 3 inches on my chest, and trim 4 inches off my waist in just 7 weeks. I don't think I can order this through the mail anymore, this Arnold Schwarzenegger course, but back in time I did a lot of these. I looked at these ads, and I bought a lot of things from the ads, and I actually sold greeting cards from those ads. Sometimes reading those comic books, it's just special because you remember things you did. And you know, I remember buying a big Frankenstein poster that said you get a 7-foot Frankenstein for $1. 7 foot, and it was 7 feet or whatever, but it was a plastic poster. It was made on like just this cheap plastic saran wrap type stuff, and it was fantastic. But the way they advertised it was like you were actually gonna get the Frankenstein monster. You were gonna get the Frankenstein monster. I say monster. Oh, the reason I mentioned monster is I have the Munsters here, the Munsters collection from my good friend Gar. There's Herman Munster, played by Fred Gwynne. Remember Fred Gwynne? What a great actor. We have Lily, Yvonne DiCarlo, played her. And we have Gramps, that was Al Lewis. He was also in Car 54, Where Are You, with Fred Gwynne, okay? And we have little Butch Patrick as little Eddie Munster, the werewolf boy, the wolf boy. And what a great series this was. This is a series from the 1960s. And look at the detail. My friend Gar, also known as Maxwell Blackheart, is a great artist, and he drew all these. And look at the detail he puts. If you look, you can see the essence of each character in his artwork, and his detail on Grandpa's hair and the facial expressions, just perfect. Whatever you want, he'll draw it, and he'll do a great job. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put his link at the bottom of this video, so you can go to his page, look at his stuff, and I'd recommend buying a couple of things. God gave me those for Christmas as a gift, because we've been friends on YouTube for a long time. And God, thank you very much for that stuff. Here's Hulk number, it's King Size Special number 1. This one was done by Jim Steranko. Look at the Hulk holding up the letters, his logo. Again, this one was 25 cents. I showed you number 3. This is number 1. This one is Giant Size Superstars number 1. Again, from the 1970s. And this is one of the issues where Hulk versus the Thing, Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four. And they have fights. I think the very first Hulk Thing fight was in Fantastic Four number 12. But anyways, everybody loved when Hulk versus the Thing, because they were similar characters. Pretty much Hulk, in my opinion, was a lot stronger than the Thing, but that's a story for a whole nother time. And Hulk was part of the Avengers for a little while. Very short run, but he was part of the Avengers. And here's an Avengers number, King Size Special number 2. I have a lot of King Size Specials here to show you guys. Here's a later one by Dale Keown. Hulk versus the Punisher, teams up with the Punisher. This is Smart Hulk. Dale Keown was one of my favorite Hulk artists. He was a later artist in the 90s, the 1990s. And I'm going to tell you something about his artwork. Look how he drew the Hulk. Really, he was intelligent. Hulk was intelligent in these. And as I said, Hulk started out gray in the issue number 1. But also, Hulk became gray again as Mr. Joe Fixit later on in some of the 1980s comics. And it just goes on and on. There was Hulk 2099, Hulk 29. He was more of a monster type. He had a tongue like Venom had. That's Hulk 2099 number 1. That's from the early 1990s. There's so many of them, I can't show you them all. It would just take too long. Here's the Sensational She-Hulk. That's Bruce Banner's cousin. He had to give her a blood transfusion. She went, it was an emergency. She went into it, and she was losing blood. She had a bad accident, and he came in, and should I do this? Should I give her my blood? She'll become a Hulk like me and have to go through all this, the curse of being the Hulk. But she handled it pretty well. She handled the Hulk virus, or whatever you want to call it, the gamma radiation, pretty well. She became part of the Fantastic Four for a while. The Incredible She-Hulk. The Sensational She-Hulk, I should say. But I have Hulk number 393, 30th anniversary of the Hulk right here. And then I have a slew of other ones, just a bunch. I can't really show them. It would take like 3 hours to make this video if I showed them all. Some of my other favorite things, the Hulk movies. Now, The Incredible Hulk started out in an Ang Lee movie starring Eric Bana. I call him Banner because Bruce Banner. And this was really a pretty good movie. It was the very first Incredible Hulk movie. If you consider the TV show with Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, that's another thing. But this was pretty much the first Hulk movie. And it was by Ang Lee, and it was really a lot of fun. But there was something about it, you know, that the fans didn't like. The fans didn't like it completely. I enjoyed it. But then they made one with Edward Norton. This is the Blu-ray on it. This one here is Edward Norton playing the Incredible Hulk, and Liv Tyler playing Betty Ross, General Ross's daughter. And this was powerful. This was a really good movie because he fought the Abomination in this movie. And the Abomination is one of Hulk's major villains, major adversaries. I also have the DVD on it, as you can see. And then later on, Hulk became part of the Avengers. Avengers Assemble! And Hulk was in there. And it was played by Mark Ruffalo, and he did a great job too. And this is a fantastic movie. What a great job they did on all the Avengers in this, all the actors, the writing. It was like reading the comic books from different time periods, but reading the comic books. Black Widow, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and even Hawkeye was in it, and it was just fantastic, fantastic. So I recommend all these Hulk movies. There's one more thing I want to show you. I just played this game. This is the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction game. This one's on PlayStation 2. They have it on Xbox and PlayStation 3 and whatnot. But I played this PlayStation 2 one. It took me about 3 weeks. I don't play video games that much. But I felt like I was the Hulk in it. I experienced being the Hulk. And the levels were very challenging. And the Hulk is like the Hulk from the comic books. It's just one of my favorite video games I've ever played. The levels on it are great. The cities, the landscapes, Hulk's powers. I almost feel like, right now, like some gamma radiation. I feel like I got some gamma radiation or some of Bruce Banner's blood in my system somehow recently, and I feel like I'm gonna Hulk out. I'm gonna freaking Hulk out.